Eye-opening is a really great word for this new moon in Aquarius. Let's take a look. All right, so we've got this new moon in Aquarius on February 9th, 2024. This is going down at 20 degrees Aquarius in 40 minutes. So yeah, as you can see, we've got the sun and the moon gathering together, starting a new cycle. You always want to look to see where your Aquarius house is, or if you're using quadrants house system, where 20 degrees Aquarius lands in your chart, because this is going to be planting a new seed somewhere in your life. And this one could be very groundbreaking. So as I mentioned, we've got some cool things going on with Mercury in Aquarius, helping us brainstorm, helping us innovate. This is our very first new moon in Aquarius, co-present with Pluto in Aquarius, which of course is doing things for us technologically and socially. That's another big one. So we've got this lunation is in an exact square with Uranus. And when casting this chart for the United States, it's right on the midheaven. So I don't know. I think we're in for some surprises for sure. Something startling, something groundbreaking, something eye-opening for sure. So yeah, Aquarius as an energy, it's the think tank, it's the brainstorm, it's the scientist, it's technology, it's innovation, it's collective, pool our ideas together and benefit from each other's research and contributions. And yeah, let's push the limit. I think in Aquarius, there's definitely some ethical concerns with the powers of technology and the powers of science and at what cost. Because if you look at the myth of Frankenstein, it's a story that tells us about, the shadow side of technology. And that's been something that has continued to show up in every case. Like I think about Elon Musk's like Neuralink thing and like the potential side effects of that. And they're able to hack dreams now. I was talking with someone yesterday about they can hack pacemakers and insulin pumps and like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And there's all kinds of ethical concerns, but because of how objective, and I'm not saying this about all Aquarians, I'm talking about the sign archetypally, is that it's just very factual and objective. And it's like, well, if we can do something, then maybe it's because we should, or someone should. So if not me, then who? And so someone is always going to push the limit. Someone is always going to push it further. Someone is always going to say, I can do it. It's like that myth of Icarus, who is so convinced that they're going to be able to fly. Ultimately, you can never get too close to the sun. Again, there's side effects. There's a downside to something. I'm also reminded of the myth of Prometheus. And I think about Prometheus as the creator of mankind, according to the myth. And yeah, and the fallout for giving humanity the fire, the tools to pursue their own intelligence versus being as dependent on the gods. And Prometheus is punished, chained to a rock, and forever condemned to have an eagle peck out his liver day in and day out, and he doesn't die because he is immortal. So there's always consequences. And so we think about that with the sign of Aquarius and thinking about, this is our first new moon with the co-presence with Pluto. So that's why I'm talking so much about technology and the collective. I think this is going to be one of those moments where we're just hearing a lot about the new breakthroughs. This is, after all, in a square with Uranus. So there's going to be that shocking effect of like, whoa, that's possible. You can hack dreams. Like, it's so cool. Like we can interpret dreams and create imagery with them now. So it's just unreal. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that under this new moon. But know that in your personal life, it's an opportunity for a big breakthrough, an innovative moment, some sort of big realization coming in for your Aquarius house, an opportunity to pivot, an opportunity to reinvent and do things differently with that Aquarius square to Uranus. The other layer to add to this new moon is that this new moon is ruled by Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn in Pisces, that's been bringing up a lot of collective grief, a lot of collective mourning. It's been elevating our sense of compassion for one another and what's going on in the world, while also elevating apathy as well, because people are feeling hopeless. And I hate to say that because I tend to be someone who wants to create inspiration for people and promote that sort of thing. But to be honest, where we have Saturn is adding like a depressing quality to the sign of Pisces, which is typically a sign of imagination, romanticism, and dreaming of a better world, for example. So it's more difficult to access things like hope and seeing a better way out. We're forced to see the reality, and that can be very, very difficult. So that is also bringing up all this culty stuff as well, and the expose of a lot of cult leaders. So that could be something to watch for with that too. But just, I think the way that this is connecting in with the technological themes that we have by the new moon in a square with Uranus is just, like that sense of collective concern for the collective. And I just think about, I don't know, it's kind of got a steampunk vibe for sure. A melancholic steampunk vibe. We'll go with that. So that is a little bit about this new moon. I will say, however, that we're entering kind of an intense period, because what happens after this new moon, we'll talk about it in more detail in a separate video, but Mars is going to enter Aquarius and conjoin Pluto, and that's not going to feel very great, especially coming off of this electric and sort of unstable feeling here that Uranus offers. Like there's going to be some kind of people's revolution, I feel like, with this. There's going to be social movements, and that Mars conjunction with Pluto is going to be a really big splash. So we'll talk about that more closely in our next video, but just want to put that out there that this is going to make some waves, and maybe some of that Saturn in Pisces collective grief, there's something that's going to come out of that. Okay. So just be ready, and we'll talk about Mars Pluto next. So for right now, that's your astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also study astrology with me. The Foundations of Astrology course is an 11-week mentorship. It begins on January 25th. You can visit my website for more details, where you can also book your year ahead astrology reading with me, where we'll get into your personal natal chart, transits, progressions, profections, and the solar return. I look forward to connecting with you. Till next time. Bye.